I'm in the hospital now. Can you come here and be with me?
You're in the hospital again? What is it this time? How long are you going to be in the hospital for? Most people go to the hospital once a year or so. I haven't been to the hospital myself for ages. Why do you keep needing to go there? What is it this time? What's wrong with you? Is it so serious that you need to go to the hospital? Did you have to call me about this? Does it really need my time and attention?
I've been feeling really bad lately, so I needed to come for a checkup. It seems that my health is getting worse, so I needed to talk to a doctor about it. I think this is a reasonable thing to do, don't you? I'm going to have an operation tomorrow, so I need the signature of a guardian. I thought you could help with this. I was also hoping you could bring me some things that I might need during my stay in hospital. I don't think it's too much to ask. Sorry if I am bothering you.
Why didn't you ask your mother to help you? Isn't there someone other than me who can be there and help you? You know I'm a busy man. I have to focus on my job. I'm very busy at the moment. It's such a pain for me to do this. I've got other things to do.
I know, I'm sorry about it, but I didn't want to disturb Mother or get her worried. So I contacted you. I thought you'd be able to help me. I didn't think it would bother you that much.
You didn't want to get her worried, so you passed the responsibility on to me? What about my right to not be worried? Why do you have to be so selfish? Do you think I'm a joke? Do you think it is easy for me to go to work and earn so much money? Then you just treat me like a servant.
I thought you would nearly finish work today. You always seem to be busy with work. It's not fair. I thought you might have time to come and help me.
No, I have to work late today, and then tomorrow I'm going on a business trip. I don't really have much free time. It would be easier if you could look after yourself. I don't have time to help you with this. Sorry about that.
But I need someone to sign the form. If I don't, then maybe I won't be able to have the operation. They need the signature of a guardian, and I was hoping you could do that. Do you have to go on the business trip tomorrow? Is it compulsory? Why not make an excuse and not do it? Couldn't you just tell your work that something important came up? I'm in hospital. I'm sure they'd understand that you had to come and help.
I get in a lot of trouble if I missed it tomorrow. There's nothing I can do. The boss would be mad. My approval rating at work would go down because of this. It's not a good enough excuse to miss work.
That's really unfair if you ask me. You should demand better treatment. Aren't you even worried about me? What would happen if I couldn't have the operation? My health might get even worse than it already is.
It's bad, I know, but I can't miss work when it isn't necessary. Health problems are bad, but employment problems are even worse. If I do badly at work, then I'll start to get sick with stress myself. I'm always trying to do my best to impress the boss and make a good impression. I'm afraid nothing is allowed to come in the way of my career. Not even you and your sickness, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I can't just leave this and come to help you. You were in hospital 3 weeks ago as well. I understand you were sick, but it was still a great burden for me. I had to do all those things for you, and it interfered with my life. It also cost a lot, didn't it? Do you know how much this is costing us? How will we afford to eat?
I'm sorry about it. I really am. I understand that I have caused a lot of trouble. I wish it hadn't happened myself, but what am I supposed to do? I'll try not to let these things happen again.
A good wife should be waiting at home for her husband. She should be cooking delicious food for him to eat. Instead, you are always in and out of hospital. I'm going to starve because of it. This marriage is turning out to be very bad value for money. It's like you're a leech just taking money away and never giving anything back.
Do you really have to say such nasty things? I'm sick and you call me a leech? What kind of language is that? You should be more considerate. We are supposed to be husband and wife.
I didn't realize that marriage was going to be this stressful and tiring. If I had known this before marriage, then maybe I would have made a different decision. I really hate going to hospital. All those sick people. It makes me feel depressed. What a terrible stress for me. As soon as I see one of those doctors in their white clothes, I start to feel suffocated. It reminds me of sickness and death. What could be worse? I know it might be a little bit selfish to put myself first, but I just feel deep down that it is what I should do. Hospital has started to scare me more and more these days. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm worried about my own health. Anyway, I don't have any time to go to the hospital. Not today, not tomorrow, not any day. That means I can't be the person that signs the form. Maybe you can get someone else to do it, but it can't be me. Sorry. I have to go to a meeting now.
I am your wife. You are supposed to support me and look after me. How can you treat me like this?
What do you mean?
I didn't think you were this kind of man. I thought you were better. You used to be so sweet. I remember one time I had flu and you went to the store to get some medicine for me. But it seems things have changed. Now you don't seem so considerate. In the past, we used to get on so well together. We have both been sick before and it didn't bother you that much. We just looked after each other and got on with things. When did you change? Why did you start to see our relationship like this? You're so cold and calculating. It's like you just don't really care anymore. You don't care that I'm even here. If even the slightest thing goes wrong, if I do anything wrong, then you get so mad. A really negative mood develops between us. It really makes life hard.
Maybe things are different now. I'm older, and I really have to concentrate on my work. We are not the lovey-dovey couple we used to be. We can't just go through life careless and free. We have to plan for our future and stay focused on our careers. Maybe you're right. Maybe I have changed. But you have changed too. You're not the cute girl I knew all those years ago. It is difficult after marriage. You are always comparing to how things used to be. I think we need to accept that things are not the same anymore. Not how they used to be. We have both changed and we just need to accept this. We will just have to do our best to accommodate each other.
You don't love me like you used to? Is this what you were trying to say? Have you found someone else?
No, I've not found someone else. I just want us to understand what is going on.
Well, if that's how you feel, what can I do? I know now not to ask for your help if I'm in hospital.
How did the surgery go? Are you okay? I have finished my meeting now and I'm on my way home. Do you want me to bring you anything? I will come and visit the hospital. Do you need some shampoo or anything? I can get it on the way and then give it to you when I arrive.
I tried contacting you several times yesterday and you didn't answer. What were you doing? Why didn't you get back to me?
I was busy with work. I told you about that. Sorry I couldn't talk. It just wasn't convenient. We have some really important stuff to do at work. There was no time for personal time. I didn't have a choice. I have been working really hard recently. I didn't even have a rest on Saturday. You should be thankful to me. I know you are sick, but I just didn't have time to talk.
I tried about 70 times and you still didn't reply. You should have at least tried to find out what the issue was. Your wife is sick in the hospital and you don't even care. You should have made time.
I have already told you I had no choice. I was busy with work. I think you should stop complaining about it. Remember how much work I do. If it wasn't for me, then you'd have no one to help you. At least be happy that I'm coming to see you now. I couldn't do it the last few days, and that wasn't my fault. Can you at least understand my feelings here? Do you think I'm some kind of an idiot who just runs around after other people whenever they ask? I'm not that kind of guy. I have to put myself first. I've got to work hard. Imagine if we got divorced. You know what it's like these days. The woman takes everything. What would I do if you ran off with all my money? I'd be homeless. I have to look after myself and my interests. And I sent some money to your mom, so stop complaining.
There are no plans for a divorce. Do you even realize who you're talking to? It's your wife's mother.
What? What do you mean?
Pay attention. I'm using my daughter's phone. I've never received any money from you, so don't start making accusations now. You're supposed to be looking after my daughter. You know, I never really liked you in the first place. I didn't even want my daughter to marry you. Now my daughter has gone at such a young age.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Gone? Is she dead? What happened?
She had to go to the hospital for emergency treatment. Didn't you even know? How could you not know about this? The hospital must have called you.
So she should be fine. She only needed to have the surgery and then she would have been better. How could something so terrible happen to her? Did the doctors make a mistake? She should have been fine. She was strong and healthy. She should have survived this. I can't believe it.
Maybe you should come here and talk to the doctor yourself. It was you who refused to sign the form, wasn't it? Don't try and play innocent now. She was waiting for you right until the moment she died. If only you had come here and helped her when she needed you. She wanted you to be here and help her. Even as she was losing consciousness, she still called out your name. But you are nowhere to be found. What a disgrace. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I can't believe it. I'm sorry for what happened. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I knew she was in hospital, but I didn't think it was that serious. I had work to do, so I was focusing on that. I really thought it was something minor and she would be okay. I'm so shocked by this.
She was my one and only daughter, and now she is gone. If only you had come here to be with her in her time of need. She was begging you for help, and you did nothing. You just left her to struggle on her own. Do you think that's the right way to treat your wife? Why were you not here for her? Her illness was getting worse and worse, and she needed help. But you did nothing. You were just thinking about yourself in your own little world. You thought your work was more important than my daughter. You were very wrong. I was the first person here by her side, and I'm an old woman. You are young and healthy. You should have been here a long time before me.
I'm deeply sorry. I really am. If I had known what a bad state she was in, I would have dropped everything to come and be with her. I didn't know. Please believe me. I wouldn't lie to you. I am being honest. This was a tragic mistake, but it's not something I could have predicted. If I could go back and do things differently, then I would. Sadly, I cannot.
I also heard that you cheated on her. Is that true?
I'm sorry. It is true to a certain extent. There was another girl. I only did it because I was bored with my life. Every day was the same and I just wanted some excitement. So I did something I regret. It didn't last long. I broke it off after a while because I felt guilty.
I don't know if I can forgive you for this. How could you do that?
I'm sorry. She didn't know, so it can't have hurt her.
You cheated on your wife and you talk like it's a minor slip-up. You don't think this would have caused a lot of pain. How do you know she didn't know about it? I think she did. She told me she was suspicious. It must have been terrible for her. Such an insult. Don't you think your excuses are a little bit ridiculous? Is there something wrong with your brain? Are you not thinking straight? I think you've got some kind of a problem. Maybe it's a personality disorder or something like that. You seem to think you're the center of the universe and that you can do anything you want. You seem to think there are no consequences for your actions. How wrong you are.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't make excuses for what I did. I won't do it from now on. I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry I hurt your daughter's feelings. It was an accident. One thing led to another.
Is there anything more you want to tell me? Where have you been these last few days? With that other woman?
I may have been with another woman. That's true. We went on vacation together. I'm sorry about it. Is there anything I can do to repay the harm I have caused?
What could you possibly do? You didn't care about my daughter. She was in desperate need and you did nothing for her. What could you possibly do to make this better? Why would I ever forgive you? You're a terrible person. As far as I'm concerned, no pain would be too much for you. A genuinely detestable individual. My daughter is dead, and there is no bringing her back.
I'm sorry. I really am. Is there nothing I can do? I could help towards the cost of the funeral. I will be attending. I still cared about her, even when I was with that other woman. She was special to me and always will be. I want to pay my respects to her one final time. I know I may have been arrogant. I know I may have mistreated her. But I still care, and if there is anything I can do, then please let me do it. Never in my most terrible dreams did I think she would be taken from us like this. It's truly awful, and I will forever miss her. I don't want to see you there. I don't want you to have anything to do with it. As far as I'm concerned, you are out of my life forever. You betrayed my daughter and let her down in her time of need. I never want to see you again. There is nothing more to it. But what would your daughter have wanted? Just before the surgery, she gave me an important document that needed signing. It was divorce papers. She wanted to get rid of you. She was in terrible distress because of the pain you had caused her. I was also deeply upset by the whole thing. She wanted you to come to the hospital to sign the divorce paper. She wanted to get away from you. But sadly, she died before her wish came true. It was her dying wish!
If you're reading this letter, then it means I have already left this world. I have gone to a better place. I have gone up to heaven where I will be reunited with my father. We will be together once more. I know that you have been with another woman. I know that you are no longer interested in me. It means it is time for us to separate. Now I am gone, there is no need for you to be unhappy. There is no need for you to think about me ever again. I know that thinking about me was always a stress for you. I know your mind was always on other things. Your work, that girl. My body was not strong enough. I was weak, and I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about the pain I caused the world. We were together for 6 years. I'm sorry that we never had children together. I'm sorry I couldn't do that for you. I always tried to do my best for you. I tried to be a loving and caring wife. But it seems I just wasn't enough. For this, I will forever be sorry. I'm sorry that my hair started to fall out. I tried to clean the shower every time I used it. I hope it didn't cause you too much stress. Maybe your other girl could have been better than me. Maybe she could give you things I could not. I hope you found happiness with her. I only hope you treat her better than you treated me. Ever since I realized that I might die, I have been thinking about us. At the beginning, I was very happy. But things turned sour as time went by. Maybe you will be happier now without me. I desperately wanted you to sign the divorce papers before I left, so I could be done with you before I went to heaven. Sadly, that was not to be the case. Goodbye to you forever, and goodbye to the love we once had.
After her death, we held a funeral and then I scattered her ashes in a forest on a mountain. I chose the place because I used to take her there when she was a child. She always loved the outdoors, especially places with many flowers. I scattered her ashes there, hoping that beautiful flowers will blossom. I didn't tell her former husband about the location of the funeral. I also didn't tell him about the forest. I didn't want him to know. What a terrible man. After all he did, how could he be a part of this? I also took all of her possessions so they wouldn't be left with him. I can only imagine what he might have done with them. What if he just threw them all in the trash? Even worse, what if he gave them to that other woman he was involved with? I'd be angry and heartbroken by this. I can never forgive him. Sometimes I hope that something terrible will happen to him, that he will feel the pain he caused me and my daughter. But maybe it is childish to want revenge like that. I still have a conscience, unlike him. I also made sure that he didn't get any of the insurance money that was paid for my daughter's death. It was a lot of money, and it went straight into my bank account. Why should he get anything? He doesn't deserve any of it. Some time has gone by now, but the pain is never fully gone.
Recently, I went to the forest again to see where I left the ashes. To my happiness, many flowers had grown. It was a wonderful scene, and it helped to put my mind at rest. I almost felt that my daughter was still alive, that something had continued, even after she passed. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Did my son leave already? He's on his way, right? If he leaves tomorrow, the roads and highways are going to be so packed, I just know it. I already told him over and over again to start driving this evening. He already left, right?
Yes, Linda, we have already started driving right now, so don't worry about us getting stuck in traffic.
My grandbabies are with you guys too, right?
Yep, all 4 of us are here in the car heading to your house.
Wait, what do you mean all 4? You are also coming?
Yes? Did you expect me not to go with them?
You're not even my family. Why are you joining them and coming to my house? I don't get it. I just don't know how you don't get it. This holiday is a day for family to spend time together. It will just get really awkward if someone like you, who is not part of the family, will be there. Why would you come to this holiday when you aren't even related to us by blood? You know, you're basically a stranger.
Linda, I have been married to your son for 5 years now. How dare you say that I am still a stranger? Seriously, when will you accept that me and my children are part of your family now?
Psh, you better watch your mouth. The only person here who I cannot accept as my family is you. My grandchildren have my blood, so of course they're family. It's just you. How can you not understand the logic behind that? Are you really that stupid?
Let's see here then. If I follow that logic of yours, then that means your husband is not your family then, right? I mean, he is not related to you by blood, nor are you related to him by blood.
You better shut your mouth. Do you really think that's the same thing as my relationship with you? Ugh, you are seriously so frustrating to talk to. Anyway, I do not want to see your face during the holidays. I only care to see my son and my babies. I honestly could care less about you. Since you guys are still not too close from my house, you better find a way to go somewhere else and just have my son and grandkids come over. I don't want you here.
So, what you're telling me is you want me to leave my 4-year-old and 2-year-old kids just on their own with their dad? Without me? Their own mother? Linda, do you hear yourself? Do you really think what you're saying makes sense?
Why does it not make any sense? What's wrong with them coming here with just their dad? I mean, all they have to do is sit in their car seats?
I really don't understand why you're being so extra when you yourself know how hard it is to watch kids. You are a mother yourself, for goodness sake. The parent has to feed their kids, wash them, make sure they're clean, keep them safe. All of these are so hard to do for just one person. You yourself know this very well. Why are you being like this?
Whatever, Rose, you're just using my son and my grandkids as an excuse to come over to my house. You think I didn't know that?
Why would I want to come to your house?
Every time you come over to my house, you stuff your face with all the delicious stuff in my fridge and pantry. My organic bagels and the homemade cream cheese, the wine I bought in Italy and Spain, and all the other desserts I have at home. Do you really think I didn't notice you eating all those? You always ate those as if it is your first time ever tasting something that good. I'm guessing you've never ate those kinds of foods growing up, huh? You've never even been near anything as luxurious as those foods that I have in my house. I mean, I don't really blame you. If your family just couldn't give those to you, then it's really not your fault. You can only dream so much. But even if you were able to afford those organic and top ingredients, you have to be as talented as I am to make those food and desserts at home. So I totally get why you would always be excited to come to my house and just eat to your heart's content. I get it, Rose. I get it. But still, when all my relatives are at my house and I see you eat like that, you just look so pathetic. I can't help but feel a little disgust towards you.
To tell you the truth, Linda, I only ever ate the food and desserts you made because it was something you worked hard making. I thought if I showed enthusiasm in eating your handmade food, that I would also be showing respect towards you.
So you were still forcing yourself to eat the food you didn't like just so you could show respect to me? Isn't that a bit hypocritical toward me, saying that you were just forcing yourself to eat it even if it didn't taste good? Oh, I always knew you were so fake since the beginning. Girls like you who have two faces never get far in life. You're so sly and good at deceiving others. It's just so ugly to see that.
You know what, Linda? I will just take that as a compliment.
You are really just so good at talking back to me. You know, I am your mother-in-law, right? You always try to pretend that we are close. It's so annoying. Like you trying to push the grocery cart for me when we're grocery shopping, acting like you're my daughter. Or when we go to the nail salon together, you're always trying to make it seem like we're best friends when we are not. I just really don't understand why you're trying so hard to have this mother-daughter thing going with me when I don't even like you. It literally disgusts me that people might think you are my daughter.
Well, you don't have any daughters, so I thought you might feel lonesome to not have another woman who can hang out with. Why would that even disgust you? You are being too much. On top of that, your only grandkids are my children, and you barely get to see them that much, so I always try to bring them over to your house, especially on holidays, so they get to see their grandma too. But I did not know that you looked at my efforts to connect with you in a negative way. That's disappointing, Linda.
Oh, wow. Aren't you an angel? Maybe I should give you an award as the best daughter-in-law in the world.
Actually, if you do that, I will gladly accept it.
Huh? Do you not have an ounce of self-pride at all? If I were you, and someone said that to me, I would throw a fit and be enraged.
To tell you the truth, when my husband goes to your house on his own and I see him just look exhausted, and whenever I see my father-in-law stand and wait for his grandkids, I only ever go to your house so I don't disappoint both of them. I want my husband to relax and my father-in-law to spend time with his grandkids, even if you don't like me.
Oh, whatever, Rose. I suggest you put your phone away now and drive instead of having my son drive all the way here. Do you not feel bad for him? He worked all day today and now he has to drive 5 hours during the night, and here you are just fiddling with your phone. The one who should be driving here is you, since all you do is just stay at home and lay around. You need to let my son get some rest.
Excuse me? I am definitely not just laying around and doing nothing at home, Linda. Every day I have to get my oldest ready for daycare and make sure I am home at 2 p.m. to pick her up, while I have to keep an eye on my other daughter all day, 24/7. I can barely differentiate the times and days anymore because of how busy I get trying to watch and raise 2 kids all by myself.
Well, you chose to have kids, and you chose to have 2, so that's just the bare minimum you have to deal with. If watching and taking care of kids is that hard for you, you shouldn't have had kids. Why did you decide to give birth then? Seriously, it is only humans who complain about how hard it is to feed and take care of their babies. Other animals just do their job as the parents of their offspring. Gosh, I am just so ashamed of you for just staying at home, and now your husband, who worked all day, having to drive 5 hours with barely any rest.
Linda, I am a very ordinary married woman in my 30s, and I've been married to my husband for 5 years now. I remember when you first met me and you greeted me so kindly and you gave me your blessing to be your son's wife. But that kind lady is so different now. I still remember how differently you acted around me when we told you that we were having a daughter and another daughter when my youngest was born. You made it so obvious that you did not like my children because they were not boys like how you wanted. I mean, your attitude and behavior around us got even worse when my second child was still a girl. It got so bad and I couldn't believe you were acting that way. But still, you did not hate my daughters and you love and care for them as much as you can, which is quite ironic because I am a girl, yet you just dislike me so much. Basically, I am the black sheep in this family, and you're only acting like this towards me. Also, Linda, I am just a normal human being. I have feelings, and I have thought about just taking my kids away and living far from you because Why would I want to keep getting hated by you? But I decided not to take my kids' happiness away, and I want them to have a good relationship with their grandparents. Plus, their grandpa is such an amazing grandpa to them that I thought of just trying to endure the hate I get from you for no reason. All I can do is be thankful that he is such a great grandpa to my kids. But this time, I just feel like I have been bullied by you the entire time, and I was thinking of how I can fix it with you. I even talked about it with my husband, and I trust his decisions, so that is why I am here with him and our children on our way to your house. Hey, Linda, I'm back. Why is the door locked? I texted you earlier that I was only 3 minutes away. I think you accidentally left it locked from the inside. I'm really sorry that you have to get up and unlock it, but could you please let me in? I'm in front of your house now.
Oh, you already got back from the store to get the flour? I told you to take your time because I didn't mind if you came back late, but you got the stuff really quickly, huh? Oh, and by the way, I did not accidentally lock the door from the inside. It's just that it's already so late at night that I made sure to lock it.
Huh? Really? But you knew I was out and was going to come back in like 30 minutes. How am I supposed to go inside then?
Well, Rose, there's no need for you to come back inside. Just leave the flour by my front door and go to the shed in the backyard. You can stay the night over there and just take a ride with my son when you guys go back to your house.
Are you being serious right now, Linda? You're telling me to sleep in the shed? It's the middle of winter.
Yes, Rose. It's because, I just don't have any extra blankets for you. I can't just let you sleep with no blanket, right? The old blankets that I had, I threw them all out. I only have enough for my son and grandbabies, none for you. So, what else can I do? Plus, my house is not carpeted and the wood floors keep the room cold. You can't just sleep here with no blanket. You will literally freeze. So, like my suggestion, go to the shed. At least the shed is full of stuff, so it keeps the inside warm. It won't be as cold, and it'll just be tonight. You guys are heading back home tomorrow, so it's not too bad for you.
What kind of person tells their daughter-in-law to sleep in some shed? Just because they don't have an extra blanket? You have to be joking. You can't be serious about this, Linda. Why in the world should I sleep where cows sleep and poop? Have you lost your mind? Linda, are you already experiencing symptoms of dementia at your age? Goodness!
This is my punishment for you for ignoring my words and never respecting what I tell you. I told you to drive instead of having my tired son stay on the wheel for 5 hours, but you did not budge. Not only did you not care about your husband, you did not care about my words. Do you think you can just ignore what I ask you to do?
I did ask him to switch with me, and I forced him to, but he was hesitant in letting me drive, so I just gave in and let him. Also, why does it matter to you so much whether I am driving or if he is? If you really felt bad about your son driving 5 hours each time we have to visit you, you should just not have us come over to your house. Be like other in-laws that invite us for a trip abroad instead. You are making this extra difficult on me. But I bet you also don't want to do that because you want to force your kids to come to your house all the way here, whether they're tired or busy. You just want them to listen to everything you say. If you really want us to come over to your house, you should welcome us with warmth every time, especially since we traveled 5 hours. But instead, you make your daughter-in-law buy some flour just to kick her out of the house, and then you tell her to just sleep in the shed with nothing, even though it's winter? Are you in your right mind?
You do know that people sleep in sheds, right? Especially people who live in the countryside. It is such a common thing, but you're being dramatic. And also, it's just common here to make the daughter-in-law sleep in the shed if they go against their mother-in-law. You didn't know that? Goodness, you really can complain about every little thing, huh?
Linda, people who grew up and lived in the countryside all their life would stone you if they heard what you said. What kind of mother-in-law even makes her daughter-in-law sleep in the shed? Do you really think I will sleep in some shed just because you told me to? You are crazy if you believe that. I am going to my parents' house right now.
There you go. You should have just done that earlier. And I was right about you this whole time. You're one stubborn girl who will keep on insisting unless I go hard on you. You really should have just gone straight to your parents' house instead of having this conversation with me. You could have made this easier for both of us. But be a sweetheart and don't go around spreading bad words about me saying that I made you sleep in a shed.
Why would I do that? Why should I lie when I can just tell the truth? Also, just know that I am never stepping foot in your house ever again. Just know that. Thank you for all your effort in mistreating and hating me this whole time.
My son and your kids are with you right now, aren't they? You guys come over to my house now! Right now! Tell my son that we were just joking around and that it was merely just a misunderstanding. Hurry up and bring them back to my house now.
Huh? Joking around? And what misunderstanding? I misunderstood you for telling me to befriend a cow while I sleep in the shed? What kind of joke is that? That is such a lame joke. Because I did not find that funny at all. Not one bit. Linda, you knew what you were doing, and I am just done with everything you throw at me. I don't even want to see your face ever again. If there's something you want to say, call or text your son.
I was trying to do that, but he won't take my calls, nor reply to my messages. I was just trying to make sure you had a place to sleep, and now you're saying that you don't ever want to see my face again? My husband heard about that, and he is not just disappointed, but he is also really mad. You guys need to come back now so he calms down, because he's at his wit's end. I know you guys haven't drove off too far, so you better turn around and come back to our house.
We already checked in at a 5-star hotel, and we're relaxing. No need for us to go back there now. And my husband apologized to me for not doing much while I was suffering from how you mistreated me. He said he's sorry that he was unable to be on my side that whole time, and he's being sincerely apologizing for that. He said that he never wants me to feel mistreated by you ever again, and that he will do what it takes to make me feel safe. We will be spending 3 days and 2 nights here. We're going to enjoy our time together, and I will try to wash away the frustration of having to deal with you this whole time. From now on, we will be living a happy life as a happy and real family, with just us and our love for each other.
With just you guys? As a real family?
Yes, exactly. You heard it right. The only people that is family to me are my husband and my 2 beautiful daughters. Why should I consider you my family when we do not share one bit of blood at all? Oh, weren't you the one that said that? That's because we're not related by blood. We're just, by default, just strangers. There is no need for me to go to your house during the holidays if I'm just a stranger. Now I won't have to drive all the way there and just stay in the kitchen to cook for everyone. I bet you feel so relieved that you will never see me again. I mean, you never liked me anyway, so I'm kind of doing you a favor by never seeing you again. I hope this is the last conversation we will ever have. Have a nice life, Linda. After that incident, I never went to see my mother-in-law ever again. I feel so bad for my father-in-law because he was really great and kind to my daughters, but I never ever want to be near a person who made me stay in some shed when it's freezing out. I just truly never wanted to have anything to do with a person like that. And my husband felt so ashamed for his mother for doing that to me. He said that I am his priority, and if it means never seeing his mom again, then so be it. He has been taking good care of me since. Linda never saw me as a life partner for her son. She saw me as some evil person who took her son away from her and that I was so worthless because I couldn't bear a son. She just kept making excuses to make me into this evil and useless person that I was not. And I just do not see any worth in keeping a relationship with someone like that. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more fun videos.